General Mahatma Idris Deby takes oath as head of state and president of the Chadian transition government. A broad consensus by participants at the just concluded National Sovereign Inclusive Dialogue agreed that General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno presides over the affairs of the country for a transition period of 24 months as head of state and is also eligible to run for presidency when elections are held. At the colorful, historic and significant event, President Muhammad Idris Deby thanked the people of Chad for the renewed confidence in his leadership and promised not to let them down. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyama speaks more on the promises made by the new Chadian leader.
He's promised an inclusive transition period, inclusive of the youth, of women, and the generality of Chadians. He's promised to deliver on top of economic benefits, and also to bring the Chadians together. And he talked about a new Chad that they want to see, and that the importance of exploiting the wealth of that country together for the benefit of the country.
One thing that cannot be ignored at the inauguration ceremony was the standing ovation given to President Muhammadu Buhari by participants as General Muhammad Idris Deby expresses sincere appreciation for the significant show of support and solidarity by the Nigerian leader.
He said Nigeria has been a very loyal friend that has really stood by Chad, without which Chad, he felt, would not have come so far.
It is important for the country that this powerful neighbor, Nigeria, stands with them at a moment when they are making this important decision to begin the process towards a democratic government.
But what informed President Muhammadu Buhari's decision to personally grace the occasion, despite the seeming lack of support and endorsement yet by the international community of the new transition arrangement in Chad?
President Muhammadu Buhari wants to send a very important, a very powerful message to the international community that peace, security, and stability in Chad are important, not only to Chad as a country, but to all of us, their neighbors, and the membership of the Lake Chad Basin countries. Without peace in Chad, there will be no peace in Nigeria, there will be no peace in the sub-region. And two, also, to indicate support of his administration and of the people and the government of Nigeria to the roadmap that the Chadians themselves have put together, that they wish to implement, that would hopefully lead to a transition to a democratic rule after all of these years of military dictatorship.
General Muhammad Idris Deby came to power in April last year following the death of his father, President Idris Deby Itno, after a 30-year reign in the vast Central African country. President Muhammadu Buhari has since returned to Abuja. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And more on continental relations, Nigeria is moving towards being one of the biggest economies in the world, and increased collaborations with economic giants like Egypt is a boost to the journey towards economic greatness. Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Mariam Katagum, disclosed this in Cairo, Egypt, at the opening of Nigeria-Egypt Trade Conference. Benny Adams reports that the volume of trade between Nigeria and Egypt is close to $200 million.
Of business ideas from Africa's two largest economies, Nigeria on one hand and Egypt on the other side. And the catch is basically to showcase products and services through business-to-business interactions for exchange of ideas, and also serves as a platform for participants to explore opportunities, learn about the industrial environment, latest technologies in Egypt, as well as the opportunities that are available in Nigeria.
5 or 6 fintech unicorns in Africa. Every state in Nigeria has some unique competitive advantage that offers any investor ability to succeed.
There are a lot of companies that we are going to kickstart, like a live signing a live into the keen into a business in Nigeria with some Egyptian company tomorrow, inshallah.
Egypt is putting our proposal on a new nexus between climate change, water, food, and security. And we're going to have a discussion on that aspect.
So I think the potentials are there, and the possibility of Nigeria bringing in palm oil in large quantity has now been made easy by the establishment of the Export Trade House.
From the venue of Nigeria-Egypt Trade Conference and Business Meetings, I am Benny Adams, NTA News.
This is news on NTA International. Let's take a break.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Nigeria's technological innovations are making waves at the international scene as a startup signs a partnership deal of $10 million at the ongoing Gulf Information Technology exhibition. ICT correspondent Chimdimman Dubisi, attending the GITEX exhibition at the Dubai World Trade Center, reports that more than 5,000 organizations, 90 countries, including Nigeria, are participating at the 42nd edition of Gulf Information Technology Exhibition, GITEX Global. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, is leading Nigeria's delegation, where 4 out of the 33 Nigeria startups are on exhibition have reached semi-final stage on the competition. Down here in Nigeria, stakeholders at the Third Nigeria Digital Economy Summit holding in Abuja are looking into how Nigeria can become a global technology leader by harnessing opportunities brought about by the Fourth Industrial Revolution. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
We are much better positioned to be significant players in Web3. And we've already shown that we have the talent, we have the creativity, and we have the acumen to build and grow major tech companies. At the last count, I think we have about 6 unicorns, and there are so many on the way. But we must spend time on the development of digital skills, and that is so important.
Speaking on the theme of the summit, Web 3.0, blockchain and decentralized finance, impact on Africa's digital economy.
How to make progress. Thinking of how
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo explains that the opportunity was not there in the 80s for Nigerians to take advantage of the range and depth that mobile telecommunications gave digital innovation, nor have access to the internet. That opportunity, he says, is now open, especially to the youth, to make a change.
Even central banks all over the world have to rethink their roles. And we've been saying this to our central bank in various ways, that, hey, look, you've got to start rethinking the role of the central bank. Blockchain will challenge the centralization of monetary authority. With the sheer number of people going to universities every year, that we're going to be building brick and mortar universities in the next 10, 20 years. Impossible. We must develop appropriate policies, regulations that promote rather than inhibit innovation and commerce. We can be world leaders in the Web3 revolution. The only limit is our vision.
The youth who are digital natives are who we now look up to. They have the unwavering potential to create a groundswell of digital innovation to solve the array of development challenges we face on the continent.
Organizers of the summit said they are making the fourth industrial revolution Africa's revolution towards economic growth and inclusive prosperity. In Abuja, Chide Onifade, NTA News.
By December this year, world leaders will converge on Canada to ratify the post-2020 biodiversity framework. It will be at the gathering of parties to the United Nations Convention on Biodiversity. ECOWAS Commission is therefore building capacity for negotiators to pursue the interests of the West African sub-region at the upcoming 15th Conference of the Parties in Montreal, Canada.
Important for us to have a common point of view so that we can bring this common point of view to the African group of negotiators.
The Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services indicated that the current negative trends in biodiversity and ecosystem will undermine our progress towards 80% of SDGs targets.
One of these initiatives that we have been working with very closely and actually led by Nigeria and co-chaired by Zimbabwe is a Pan-African Conservation Trust, which is one solution proposed by the protected and conserved areas across the continent to mobilize financing.
It is what I like to call the grand plan that will be deployed over the next, now we can say 8 years because we are in 2022, and intended to set the world on track to accomplish the ideal of living in harmony with nature by 2050.
Stakeholders in the region are expected to also come up with solutions to regional climate change crisis and address biological diversity losses in member states. Algeria and France have signed 11 agreements to boost cooperation. The agreements cover several sectors, including industry, technology, agriculture, and education. Plus, Ukraine, Germany agree on urgent G7 meeting. Details with Obegeli Ugoke.
French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne and her Algerian counterpart Amina Benabdrahman signed an agreement during a ceremony in Algiers. Borne, along with 16 ministers, is in Algeria for a 2-day visit aimed at improving ties with the former French colony and major gas exporter. The agreements were signed within the framework of the directives of the two states' presidents. The joint high-level committee meeting between the two countries had been suspended since its fourth session in 2017 due to tense relations stemming from the colonial period and immigration-related issues. Following the latest Russian strikes, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Monday that he agreed with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz to hold an urgent G7 meeting. In a phone call with Scholz, as Germany has held the G7 presidency since January, Zelensky said they agreed on holding an urgent meeting. Zelensky also discussed with French counterparts the need to strengthen Ukraine's air defense. He also hopes to discuss the issue of increasing pressure on aid in restoring damaged infrastructure in Ukraine. On health, China is conversing patiently with its tough COVID policies and warned against any war weariness. As local cases soared to their highest since August, days ahead of pivotal Communist Party Congress. Reports say pressure on officials to stop outbreaks as soon as they spring up has risen in recent weeks as the highly transmissible Omicron subvariant BF7 and BA517 appeared in mainland China for the first time, ensnaring travelers during a just-ended week-long national holiday. Across China, 1,939 locally transmitted cases were reported on October 9th, the highest since August 20th. These calculations are based on official data published on Monday. Obiagili Ugwoke, NTA News.
And going religious now. 12th of Rabiul Awwal in the Islamic lunar calendar remains a global turning point, especially in the lives of Muslims, as it commemorates the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, known as Eid al-Mawlud. Religious correspondent Abdullahi Ajiya reports that this day usually heralds different modes of worship activated by spiritual moments.
Quranic verses suffice to mention and explain the reverence on Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His birth, life and times, Islamic scholars and historians have described as a gift to mankind, with his prophetic message and teachings revolutionizing the world.
The birthday of Prophet Muhammad Sallama is very, very important for us to do it. Allah honor him. Allah respect him. A good Muslim supposed to love Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu. Even you are not a Muslim, because a wonderful human being like this, you're supposed to respect him, honor him.
The celebration of Eid al-Mawlud annually in the Muslim world is very famous, a period adherents look forward to with different tones and modes of worship to commemorate. Hilkatu Zikrullah and Ahbab, like many other Islamic organizations, marks the day with convergence for worship led by their spiritual leader, Sheikh Abubakar Sadiq Shuaibu. This year's celebration was marked with vigil of praises, invocations, sermons, and salutations to the noble Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Messages of peace took the center stage.
To pray for Nigeria, I'll use this avenue to talk to people so that we can come together and unite together. And we need peace to reign in Nigeria. You know, if there's no peace, there's no stability.
To unite not only Islam, anything that has to do with religion, and people to understand what humanity is all about.
Worshippers who were visibly happy said the atmosphere provided them spiritual satisfaction.
Celebrating Maulud is like a life to me.
Family, friends, and associates to celebrate with the patriots whose passion to serve keeps leading her to greater heights. President Buhari affirms that the renowned journalist who was elected member of the House of Representatives in 2003, Obesity Femi Adesina, the president notes the dedication, diligence and selflessness that brought Dabiri Erewa to the limelight as a broadcaster on the NTA Newsline program, using her trade to give the poor, sick, deprived and homeless members of society a chance to live better lives by telling their stories to the world. President Buhari believes Dabiri Erewa's sincerity of purpose, meticulous handling of sensitive issues and capacity to share her vision and carry others along easily pedestal her for leadership positions, extolling her skillful handling of the diaspora family and building a mutually beneficial relationship with the government and citizens at home. And that's it on the news on NTA International. Thank you for watching. On behalf of Precious Ozemina, I'm Nancy Godiangonihu. Bye for now.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTA. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
The mandate of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, under the Nordic Act of 2010 can be broadly classified into two. First is to develop capacity of local supply chain for the effective and efficient service delivery to the oil and gas industry. And second, to implement and enforce the provisions of the Nigeria Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act of 2010. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Local Content Television. I am your host, Priya Thakkar. Welcome back. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Kesie Huawute, recently commissioned facilities of Southwestern Technologies and Oilfield Services Limited in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Don't go away.
I commission this office facility in the name of the Father, Amen, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The Executive Secretary of Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Kesie Huawute, recently commissioned some facilities belonging to Southwestern Technologies and Oilfield Services Limited in Port Harcourt, River State. The facilities include an operations office building and an oil well cementing equipment.
To encourage the growth of partnership and the sustenance of businesses from generation to generation.
Speaking at the Grand Commissioning, which was well attended by industry stakeholders, Engineer Huawute commended the company for continuously improving its capacity and providing efficient services to oil and gas exploration and production companies.
I think some of these things we do in terms of pushing the boundaries and supporting Nigerians to take on their pride of place in the industry. Most people, when they sit where they are, they don't appreciate it. It gives me joy when I see Nigerians working, because for every Nigerian that you employ, you can multiply that by 10, given our extended family system, both your direct siblings and also your extended family that you take care of. So imagine 25 multiplied by 10. You are touching the lives of 250 Nigerians directly. And then not to talk of the indirect value that you add in the business.
He challenged indigenous companies whose capacities have been built to take the center stage and demonstrate their capacities to the African continent and the rest of the world.
I think local content in Nigeria has come of age. Therefore, we as regulators of the business don't need to be the ones that will preach the value of local content development. Now it is left for a company like yours, associations like PETA, to take that and preach that to Africa and the rest of the world. That's why you see us to a large extent, we take a back seat. These days, when they invite me for speaking externally, I try to shy away. I believe that the companies that will build capacity in the country should take the center stage to demonstrate their capacity outside. So these days, I see a lot of Nick or Jiniwe being the ambassador of PETA, traversing the African continent and telling them how Nigerian businesses have come of age. And that is what we need to do.
Earlier in his remarks, the chairman, Southwestern Technologies and Oilfield Services Limited, engineer Obioha Fubara Okorafo, applauded NCDMB for all the giant strides recorded so far in growing Nigerian content even beyond the oil and gas sector. On his part, the Managing Director, MD, Southwestern Technologies and Oilfield Services Limited, Engineer Chris Idisi, described the board as a platform that enables local companies build capacities in the oil and gas sector and thanked the board for its relentless support.
I think for us, it was important that we display, to our clients as well as our partners, technical partners, that especially Schlumberger, Halliburton and Co., right, that we are not a portfolio company, right? It's important that, we harness the platform that NCDMB has created for us. They've done so much today. In fact, if it wasn't for NCDMB, like I said, I joined the company. I was an engineer about over 20 years ago. At that time, there was nothing like a local company. Right, we didn't have a platform, so it was most of the services were harnessed by the international companies. But today, we have Nigerians adding value, in the oil and gas sector, employment and all that. So NCDMB was the platform that was created to enable the local companies. And so far, it's been a very fantastic journey, especially for the companies that are focused, that really understands the importance of capacity building as well as the empowerment that we have been given by NCDMB, right? So in the nutshell, I think if it wasn't for NCDMB, we wouldn't have even come this far.
Through effective implementation of the Nigerian Contents Law, the NCDMB has created a level playing field for indigenous companies like Southwestern Technologies and Oilfield Services to grow their capacities to become world-class outfits offering top-notch services to the oil and gas industry.
Welcome back. A second-year political science student of the University of Ibadan, Ayotomiwa Elesho, has won 1 million naira star prize in the 6th annual National Undergraduate Essay Competition, sponsored by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB. Winners of the essay competition were celebrated at the award ceremony held recently in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State. Come along with us.
A second-year student of political science in the University of Ibadan, UI, Mr. Ayo Tomiwa Elosho, has received the star prize in the 2022 annual undergraduate essay competition of the Nigerian Contents Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMB) in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. The competition, which is in its 6th edition, was conceived by the board as part of efforts to promote academic excellence and build capacity among Nigerian youths in preparation for effective participation in the oil and gas industry. The topic for this year's competition was Strategizing for Transformation to Clean Energy Landscape, the NCDMB Intervention. Speaking at the prize presentation ceremony at the Nigerian Content Tower in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, the Executive Secretary of NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Kesiewabute, who was represented by the Manager, Corporate Communications, Esweme Dan Kikele, noted that the annual National Undergraduate Essay Competition is one of the board's multiple interventions aimed at improving the standard of education in the country, as well as promote the awareness of local content and its benefit to the national economy.
The NTA began to sponsor this competition because we understood the need to incorporate local content, consciousness among undergraduates in our higher institutions, to make them understand that local content is an economic imperative for sustainable development of our local economy, creation of job opportunities and national security. Furthermore, the annual National Undergraduate Essay Competition is one of NTA's multiple interventions to meet the standard of competition in Nigeria. It aims to promote proficiency in writing, awareness of global contents, and its benefits to the national economy, and to engender citizen engagement of undergraduate level.
Earlier in his speech, the project consultant, Eyinemi Omorozi, commended NCDMB for its continuous support, describing the competition as one of the board's flagship events. He also commended the 10 finalists for their efforts and sleepless nights which saw them through to the final stage.
To provide analytical assessment potential of human undergraduates to enhance academic excellence, while enhancing the ability, creativity, and initiative of youth in promoting the culture of peace and sustainable development. From industry perspective, these academic exercise is the need created by NTA to create awareness for the youth, to give them the understanding of content policy. Because the needs and leaders of the world when they try content policy is driven by the youth. So that they will work position for the better opportunity. And all that they have to do.
Also speaking, the chairman of the occasion, Senator Inatimi Rufus Spieth, noted that the topic for the competition was timely as the effects of climate change ravaging the global landscape is making nations consider alternative sources of energy. He further commended the board for consciously impacting and enhancing local participation in the oil and gas industry.
The effects of climate change are hitting our global we share on strategies for transformation to clean energy in changing global energy landscape. The NCDMB intervention is to say the least most. The Nigerian Content Development about before is vision for it's a creation of acts. It was established for a primary purpose, not only ensure but also bring the business application in the oil, gas, industry.
Receiving cash reward and other gift items, the winner of the essay competition, Ayo Tomiwa Elosho, expressed appreciation to the event's organizers and the NCDMB for creating the opportunity.
At first, before my name was announced, when I found out that I'll be in the top 3, I was really overwhelmed. But after I came on stage, I felt really, really happy because my efforts finally paid off. But I have to thank the organizers because without them, I would not have this beautiful experience. And the fact that they set up this kind of competition to help students develop their writing, articulation, and research skills, it's a lot for me.
The event rounded off with a guided tour of the Nigerian Content Tower building and facilities.
On the Local Content Champion segment this week, we'll bring you an exclusive interview with Executive Vice Chairman of Eras Corp Nigeria Limited, Maxwell Oko. Take a look.
Eras Corp Nigeria Limited is an indigenous security and logistics services provider in the oil and gas and marine sectors of the Nigerian economy. Their vision is to deliver top-rated security services as required by clients while optimizing clients' profit and minimizing operational costs. Maxwell Oko is the Vice Chairman of Eras Corp Nigeria Limited. He spoke to Local Contents TV on the capacities and capabilities of the company.
Primarily, we started business with engineering, procurement, construction, and installation. And we started and have always remained 100% local company because basically this is the arm of the oil and gas that locals have over time built or grown capacity and have proven themselves. And that's the area we started. And with our exposure in the industry, we've been able to grow along that line, especially across the projects we've executed. And so clearly that's how we've grown into one form of, contracting opportunity to the other, clearly with local support.
The Eras Corp Nigeria Limited boss disclosed the impact of the Nigerian oil and gas industry Content Development NOGIC Act 2010 on the growth and development of the company.
I can go on and on and on and on. At least today, our company, Eras Corp Nigeria Limited, stands one of the flagship companies for local content to, in a few months from now, used as a success story in the 64,000 liters per day lubricant blending plant that we are building in Baran area of Bayelsa State. And in that project, the local content have 40% equity participation, investment in that process. So these are parts of the success support we've gotten from the local content office. Like I said, if I have the time, I have too many examples to state in terms of the support we've gotten from the local content office.
Maxwell Oko highlighted some of the projects the company is currently executing in the oil and gas industry and its linkage sectors.
At the moment, in the next 2 weeks, we will be handing over a 10-kilometer by 12-inch pipeline. I'm sure 10-kilometer by 12-inch pipeline, purely swamp. We are doing for Ajib. We are also currently mobilizing to go to site for 100,000 barrel storage tank construction for the annual gas project in Asanot. And then we also do a couple of stuff. We are in charge with Chevron, and again with Ajit, we are in charge of their cooling system across their land area operations.
The Vice Chairman, Erascorp Nigeria Limited, enumerated some of the challenges the company is facing in its quest to be the leading company in its line of business in sub-Saharan Africa.
So I think every Nigerian company faces the challenge of funding, and that is again one area that the local content have come to support. Especially with the BOI loan by way of making it easy or accessible for contractors or industry players. So it's a problem cuts across all of us as operators in the industry, and it's one area I would say is a major challenge, especially for some of the operators that are suffering from financial situation because of the low industry operations at the moment, because of low production. So finances are not readily available, and each time you do a work, you're not paid as at when due. So having taken a bank loan for say 20-something% interest rate, by the time they will pay you, the little gain you're meant to make have been eaten up by bank interest and stuff. And so these are the challenges that generally affects everyone, and we are a typical example of that sort of challenge. In most cases, one of the bigger challenge is the time lag for contract evaluation seems to be too long, taking 2 to 5 years, evaluating one contract, and the time at which you put in your commercial to present day. I'll give you an example. So we started this total offshore frame construction bid process in 2016. This is 2022. That is 6 years. If we are going to site today, for instance, and say for a particular item we quoted for say $100, with the inflation of today, perhaps that particular item is about $120-something, and the oil companies are not ready to revisit to say you have to carry out variation at the point of mobilization. That doesn't work at all. So this economic uncertainties is really affecting everyone, and coupled with issues of victimization that are outrightly out there, which we are happy with the local content office for the type of support and the drastic position they've taken to ensure that Nigerian companies don't suffer from victimization.
Erascorp Nigeria Limited, which is duly licensed by relevant authorities in the country, offers a wide range of services to manage all forms of security threats such as early warning systems, intelligence gathering, as well as vulnerability assessment.
In the words of the Executive Secretary of the NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Kesie Wabote, local content is not a sprint, but a marathon that requires focus and tenacity to ensure its successful implementation. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Thank you for watching. Please stay safe and see you next week.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. And to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, Use the following satellite parameters. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
What is happening? Your eyes are red. You are armed with a machete and a gun.
See, I am angry and I can't even contain it.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Bet on your luck with OneXBet. Test your luck and get a chance to win one of the super prizes. Bet on the sports event with OneXBet. Get the tickets and take part in the super cool prizes draw. TechnoSpark smartphone, powerful generator, or a cool Bajaj motorcycle. Bet on your luck with OneXBet.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What can bring succor? Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
What is happening? Your eyes are red. You are armed with a machete and a gun.
See, I am angry and I can't even contain it. See.
Oh, my guy, calm down, calm down.
See, Oga, I have planned to go and destroy these people's businesses in the city. I have to retaliate for what they've done at our own place. They cannot eat their cake and have it now, never.
If you destroy their business here, and they destroy that of those close to you over there, especially that your brother who sends you steady cash, how would you survive? Would your dreams be on hold?
See, what you're saying is correct. But I'm still angry.
Best way is to embrace peace. With peace and unity,
my people, let us embrace peace and unity. Let's learn to live as brothers and sisters for a progressive, prosperous nation. This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
The Central Bank of Nigeria's Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme, often referred to as TIES, that is aimed at supporting the entrepreneurship journeys of young graduates of Nigerian universities and polytechnic, will definitely help in boosting entrepreneurship development in Nigeria and enhance the contribution of the private sector to Nigeria's economic growth and sustainable development. The multiplier effect of this bold initiative include job and wealth creation for the youthful beneficiaries of the scheme. Today's episode is a continuation of the series that we started some weeks ago. The major objective of TIES is the facilitation of access to finance by undergraduates and graduates of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. The scheme is also aimed at providing an enabling environment for co-creation, mentorship, and development of entrepreneurial and technological innovations for value creation in partnership with polytechnics and universities. On tonight's episode, we shall be showcasing more beneficiaries of the TIE scheme located in some states that BOI Impact Crew visited recently. The package shows vividly the federal government of Nigeria's determination to ensure that startups, micro and small businesses are sustainably supported to overcome the challenges that such businesses face during incubation period. Welcome to today's episode of BOI Impact. I am Hadiza Olaoshibiko. In Kaduna, BOI Impact Crew visited two beneficiaries of CBN TIES. The first is the Adonai Publishers, promoted by Godday Ojolomo Abba, a graduate of Kaduna State Polytechnic who holds a higher national diploma in civil engineering. The support from CBN TIES has enabled him to purchase plants and machineries for his printing press.
Hello, my name is Godday Ojolomo Abba, and I am the CEO of the Adonai Publishers. I am a graduate of Kaduna Polytechnic here in Kaduna State. This is the reception of the Adonai Publishers. We are a print and publishing firm. We specialize in production of memos, jotters, banners, flyers, graphic designs, and a whole lot more as far as it is print media. If you come with me now, I'll show you some of the machineries that we have in place. This is a mini DI and is used for the production of paper prints, book prints, bond papers, documents, profiles. This is a large format machine for prints of stickers, banners, assessing this fund, I was able to acquire another digital imaging machine, which of course reduced the time flow and the traffic flow of my clients. More like it has given me speed of delivery and also boosted my capacity. So I'm able to attend to more clients and at a shorter rate of time. I just saw the message online. I think I saw it either on Facebook or somewhere. Then I just applied. In a matter of weeks, I got a feedback. I was being informed at several levels from the portal. There was no direct communication with nobody. I just uploaded what I needed to upload, and I just got feedback from the site. And as I keep making progress, I saw the progression too on the timelines of the portal. So it was just interaction with the interface till I got to the place where I physically got a call. But I never knew anybody in BOI. I don't know anybody there. So it was a very transparent process as far as it's concerned. The machine that I got had made work much more faster and has expanded my capacity to attend to so many more customers, unlike before. The printing business in this country is a very, very lucrative business. And I would love, like I told you earlier, I'm a graduate of civil engineering. I graduated 2016, but I've been in this business since 2014. I have not had a regret of being in this business for now. And I hope that as things will change for the better, we'll be able to do more. And in the next 5, 6, 7 years, I'll become a household name as far as Northern Nigeria is concerned. That's my dream. The training was more than necessary. If I had not been skillfully trained, I'm not sure I would have still been able to maneuver the market as it is right now. In fact, the current economic situation warrants skillful dealings as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. Before BI came, I was running on just 5 key staff. But by virtue of buying this new machine now, for example, I have to employ more skilled labor. A very big thank you to BOI, to CBN, to the federal government for this initiative. In fact, I am anticipating that a secondary program will come up for people like us who are early beneficiaries so that after this one, we can apply for more. Because eventually, we also need to expand.
The BOI Impact crew also visited HBC Arts and Design Studio, promoted by Wale Samuel Bamigbai, a graduate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, who holds a degree in industrial design. He also purchased plants and machinery for his printing press.
My name is Wale Samuel Bamigbai. I'm a graduate of industrial design at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and I'm the chief promoter for HBC Art and Design Studio. Please come along with me. Let's tell you what we do in HBC Studio. You're welcome. Here at HBC Studio, we have a whole lot of things we do. It's actually a studio that deals with graphic design. We do printing, we do branding, we do artworks, we do signage. I'll be introducing it to all the equipment we have here and how we use them to work. We have our A3 cutter here that we use for cutting. Is an industrial cutter, is manual. We use them to cut paper from different sizes, ranging from B7 as big as A3. You can do any cutting with this. Here is our system we use for sending works, printing. Majorly, we do more of printing here. So this is what we use for most of the sending of our work. It's an Acer. We have the ThinkPad, which is a desktop computer. We use them for also to send work so that we don't delay our customers. We have this Canon printer here. We use them for printing of ID cards, stickers. It's an inkjet. The second one is the Epson. The Epson printer is a sublimation printer that we use basically for printing sublimations such as mugs, t-shirts, any form of sublimations. We have different clocks, but bottle water, and the rest of it. This is what we use for the printing before we transfer to the main item itself. We have the LaserJet desktop. Here we have the presser. We use them for pressing shirts, cap, bags, and the rest of them. We use this to heat after either printing or cutting of flex material. We have our DI machine here. This is Konica Minolta 5 series. It's a color printer. It prints 50 copies in 1 minute. So if you have let's say you have a jotter you want to print, you have flyers, posters, as long as the size is not more than A3, this will do that for you. Probably, let's say you have an envelope, you want to send that to a corporate organization or to an individual, we could help you customize that. We also have the bigger version, which is the 7 series. This prints at 70 pieces in a minute. Yes, I'm sure. Then this helps us to also do some other things. This helps us to print our V transfer. This print V transfer, but not as effective as this. The sharpness of this is higher than this. Then we have the Inge cutter. It's a contour plotter. This contour plotter, actually, we use them to cut flex for t-shirts, SAV for signage. Initially, before the CBN ties came, our productivity was a bit low, where when we got the CBN ties, we were able to acquire more machines like these and some other few ones, where the machines we acquired when we got the CBN ties. So this has actually helped us to increase our productivity. Formerly, we go as far as Kaduna to do our printings, but with the CBN ties, we can do that now here without going out. The training, they give us some insights on how we go about our businesses, how we treat competitors, how we can improve sales. I think one of the most interesting aspects of the training was when they started talking about marketing. There's some certain things that I never thought of, talking about the strengths, the weakness, opportunity, and threats. Actually love that particular aspect, and it has helped us a lot. I was talking to someone of recent, and I said I never believed things like this existed. I used to look at them like a mirage, as if it's more staged, until I became a beneficiary to this. That's when I know it's actually true. It's real. I don't know anybody there. This is my first time of applying, and I got it. So the application is simple. Just do all the necessary things you need to do. Back then, if I want to do any cuts, I go as far as Kaduna to do it. Mostly once it is as large as 4 feet. But with the CBN ties, here I have my 4 feet yenge. I can cut a signboard as big as 30 feet, and I will not be scared. And I can deliver in a very short period of time. The long-term projection of our business is to be the #1 print house in Kaduna State, not just in Zaria, probably in the nearest future in the whole of the North. We're looking at how to be big. We're dreaming big. We have big plans. We have other machines that we're still looking forward to. Like we're looking at getting some other machines. We have some on ground that we can't install here because of space. We're also looking out to expand beyond this place. And we're saying a very big thank you to CBN Ties for what they've done. It's a good initiative, and I pray that such initiative will keep coming up for youths to benefit from it. Initially, before the CBN ties, I had just 2 staffs, and after the intervention, we had 4 more. I don't know anybody there. It was a friend of mine that sent it to me that I should apply, and I did apply, and here we are today.
So for ICT, the information communication technology sector, we are really interested in software development. We're interested in data. We're interested in all the key business areas of information technology. So we believe that our youth should really be focusing their energy in this space.
Halal Resource Technical is located in Niger State. This is promoted by Ibrahim Musa Umar, a graduate of business management from Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi. With the support of CBN ties, he has been able to expand his fish farming business.
This is validating machine set for production of local feeds. This one is to grind the feeds, and then this one is to pallet it on into sizes. We have 6 mm, and we also have 6 mm, and we also have 4 mm. Currently, we have inserted the 6 mm onto the machine, and this is the 4 mm, and this is the 9 mm for the local feed production. Then we also have drying machines. Here, we use this. You can use gas, and you can also use charcoal for the drying of can take a capacity of 50 kg, and then the second one can also take a capacity of 50 kg. These are the scenarios. I can say that the objective of the CBN ties is to improve the entrepreneurship capacity. I have started this journey since 2018 with a tarpaulin pond stocking about just 100 fingerlings, and today I've been able to take capacity of 6,000 fingerlings in a cycle. That is 2 cycles of a year. So it has really improved the entrepreneurship skill. The role of the entrepreneurship training has enlightened us on the normal background knowledge of each of the business of our interest. Because at then being, we just jump into the business without getting the normal skill, it will really affect us. So the interest of getting the training first has really helped us. The fund has positively impacted on my business. I'm stocking 6,000 per annum. That's in 2 cycles. The first cycle is 3,000 and the second cycle is 3,000. Definitely, you can also see, and even the farm has also gotten what he has never gotten before. That is, initially we used to go to river and get water to the pond, but now you can see the water is running all around the pond. So it has impacted on our business positively. We are hoping in the nearest future we start the hatchery, and also we will be training more youths to get self-employed, because this is the major aim of the program.
The website is there, CBN Ties, www.cbn ties. You know, if you just go pick a Google and put CBN Ties, it will take you to the site. And of course, it's a very flexible thing. You can just go on, log on, and it'll tell you all the requirements and what you need to do, what you need to do. But the requirements are the same. So you need to get them ready, because you were expected to attach some of the documents in the application for you to go through and be onboarded successfully.
Bisa Venture is a poultry farm promoted by Oluwaferomi, who is a graduate of environmental and analytical chemistry from the Redeemers Universities in Osun State. With the intervention of CBN Ties, she's been able to acquire more birds to expand her poultry business, which is based in Osun.
My name is Oluwaferomi Biola Otitoju. My company's name is Bisa Farms. I'm a PhD student at Acewater, studying environmental and analytical chemistry. So I want to take you around the farm. So this is a broiler production farm. And you can see that the broilers are here. They have their feed, they have their water. These birds are about 5 weeks now, ready for sale. We've actually started selling these birds, and so this is what we have left, ready to go to the market. So this pen is a 7,000 capacity pen. And so what we have right now is we have about 2,000. That means we've sold 5,000 of these birds already. And it's been a wonderful journey since I started. And I mean, we can see it. The birds are okay. They are lively. They have their food. They have their water. They are doing very well. Oh, one of the things that the CBN Ties has done is to increase my production. So before I got the money, I used to do about 1.5, but with the when the money came in, you know, definitely is going to increase the number of birds I would have on the farm. And of course, it's going to add to, the labor that I have. I would have to employ more ants, because the number of people that work on 1,500 birds will be different from the number of people that work on 3,000 birds. So, of course, it's actually adding more to the economy as I'm actually employing more people to work on the farm. It has impacted the community around me because I get to employ people living in the community, more people. And so that's taking young people, into the workforce. They're able to provide for their families and all. And also more money to me because I've been able to increase my capacity. And so, of course, she expects a lot more profit than what she used to have before. I have about 5 now, 5 people working here for me. And I hope to employ more people as the business grows. The application process is actually very smooth because everything is done online. I did everything that I did on my phone. I didn't go through any, long process. Everything that I needed to submit was scanned with my phone. I sent it on my phone. So it wasn't a tedious process. So right now, what we have is broilers. I intend to go into fishery and piggery. So I mean, that's like the 5-year plan for the business. So I want this to reach a level of stability before I move into other ventures. But of course, we are going to expand beyond the broiler production and then go into piggery, go into fishery and some other things that we can do. I'm grateful to the Central Bank of Nigeria for this opportunity because it has impacted me and the business positively. I hope that a lot more people can key into this and benefit from this scheme so that the economy of Nigeria would continue to increase through this Central Bank of Nigeria scheme.
This essence is to call on everybody who have children at home, who are graduates, we have those in university who are graduating very soon. They should understand that the scheme exists and they should prepare themselves, hone their entrepreneurial skills so that as they are graduating and they finish the NYC, they can apply to get funding under the scheme. So let's go and train ourselves and develop our skills. Funding should no longer be a challenge because funding is available provided by the CBN.
It is indeed heartwarming to watch how beneficiaries have been testifying to the positive impact of CBN tie scheme on their businesses. In subsequent edition of the program, we shall showcase more beneficiaries from other states. For further inquiries on how to benefit, please visit TIE's website, www.cbnties.com.ng. Do not forget to share this information. You may be helping someone to achieve their dreams. I am Hadiza Olaoshibiko. Thanks for watching today's episode of BOI Impact. Bye for now.
On customs duty tonight, the Nigerian maritime business to receive a boost once the Lekki deep sea port gets commissioned.
We are putting a platform, and then whatever you are putting should be a system that can integrate into our own, so as to have a seamless process of operation.
And Nigeria Customs Service assures of insistence on merit of the ongoing supplementary recruitment.
Whoever comes to tell you that he has a way of getting you employed into the customs is only deceiving you. Don't agree with that.
Welcome to Lekki Port. Located in Lagos, Nigeria, the heart of West Africa. Lekki Port is being developed in Lagos State within the Lagos Free Zone. The new deep sea port is located approximately 65 kilometers to the east of Lagos and is easily accessible by the Lagos-Ekpe Expressway and well connected through other expressways to service all parts of Nigeria. Upon completion, the port will be one of the deepest in West Africa. Phase 1 of this multi-purpose port will have a container terminal covering an area of 50 hectares with 2 containers and a total capacity of 1.2 million TEUs annually. Upon completion of the final phase, the container terminal will be expanded to a total of 3 berths, a dry bulk and general cargo terminal with
There you have an excerpt of presentation made as a delegation from Lekki Deep Sea Port Lagos being constructed. This is Customs Headquarters, where interactions have held. A one historic visit that seeks to widen business operations in Nigeria, thereby helping in the growth of the Nigerian economy, which is highly desired. The leader of the delegation summarizes the aim of their visit.
Our visit is we are procuring scanning equipment on behalf of the customs team, and we are looking for their support in importation of that equipment into the country and supporting with the documentation and regulations of how to import it from NNR organisation. We also want to discuss a little bit about transshipment cargo, because we believe there is a great opportunity for the Nigerian market to absorb what is going to other countries at the moment, and will boost the economy and the objectives of customs over the coming years.
Further assurances are given by members of the delegation to operate in accordance with the rules of engagement in free trade zones in the country.
Operation of free zone cargoes and the cargoes that are not free zone, we have a conventional. So the plan that we have is at the container terminal, those consignments that are not free zone consignment, there will be replacement. Then we are going to work in tandem with existing process in Lagos Free Zone for those classification of consignment that needs to go to the free zone.
While assuring the delegation of the support of the Nigerian Customs Service in realizing the business objective of the deep sea port in tandem with government's policies, the Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali retired, stresses the importance of seamless operations between the service and the port once it comes on board.
We are putting a platform, and then whatever you are putting should be a system that can integrate into our own, so as to have a seamless process of operation. So that is a technical area that needs to be reconciled between us and yours, so that we have a system. Since we are now in the process of putting the automated system, then you should be able to acquire a system that will now be able to integrate into our own system.
Once commissioned, the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which is one of the biggest ports in Nigeria and even beyond, is projected to change the dynamics of maritime businesses in the entire West African region. In continuation of the recruitment exercise earlier started by the Nigeria Customs Service, The service has flagged off the supplementary recruitment exercise, which is to fill the vacancies hitherto not filled by certain local governments, as designed to allow for representation by all local governments across the country. Screening of candidates as well as endurance training has begun and is ongoing. Assistant Comptroller General of Customs Mustafa Serkin Kabi assures of another smooth exercise.
The screening exercise has been scheduled to start from today, 4th of October, and to end on the 15th of this month. From what I'm seeing, I don't think we are going to encounter issues that will warrant us to, extend the exercise. But if it happens, there is no problem. I'm sure it will not extend to more than a day or two after the actual time allotted to it.
He also uses the medium to caution unsuspecting Nigerians that the exercise is strictly on merit, devoid of any form of influence, monetary, material, or otherwise.
This supplementary recruitment, you do the necessary things. We all know that a portal was opened and people imputed their information, and the successful ones were automatically invited for the CBT. After the first CBT, when the number wasn't encouraging, the CGC graciously allowed for another CBT. That is what culminated into what we are doing now, the screening for the final selection of the candidates. So I believe whoever comes to tell you that he has a way of getting you employed into the customs is only deceiving you. Don't agree with that.
The customs duty crew has sought to know the experiences of some of the candidates and their expectations.
I did not encounter any challenges from the documentation till date the endurance test. I was able to complete the 3 kilometers jogging or running, and I gave it my best. I think I have a lot to give to Nigerian Customs Service if I'm given the opportunity.
I thank God for the life of Nigerian Customs. Their things are free and fair. They are optimistic.
It has been a wonderful experience, and it has been a transparent experience. Like, I admire every transparency because they followed according to the standards, they followed according to the merits, and I'm so happy and I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
The screening exercise, which holds at Nigeria Customs Commander Staff College, Gwagwalada, aims to inject into the service officers who deserve to be there in order for them to serve the nation diligently.
In the dynamic universe of international trade, the motive for profit often needs to be balanced alongside the need for security, safety, well-being, and competitiveness. Hence the need for a platform that allows us to hear both sides of the story. Introducing Customs Trade District. A program dedicated to informing and educating you on global economic trends and the activities of the Nigeria Customs Service. It offers members of the business community an opportunity to air their concerns about trade policies and its enforcement by officers of the Nigeria Customs Service. So join us weekly in Customs Trade District, which will be showing on all the Nigeria Customs Service online media platforms, where I will be discussing with policy makers, policy enforcers, business owners, as well as economic and trade analysts. Customs Trade District, coming soon on your screens.
Operatives at the Papa Command of Nigeria Customs Service have yet again in their diligence in ensuring the suppression of smuggling to the barest minimum and protecting the nation from influx of illicit and unregistered drugs into the country, as well as other uncustoms goods, have intercepted 2 containers laden with unregistered pharmaceutical products concealed with other household goods. While addressing members of the media, Comptroller Malanta Yusuf reveals that This act of illegal importation contravenes the laws of the land. Thus, the law will take its course.
You can see the content of the cargo. We have metimotil, jebidol, egwechin, and oriental ceiling fan. So the oriental ceiling fan here is just used to conceal the content of the cargo. Well, this consignment or these pharmaceuticals are pharmaceutical without NAFDA registration, and therefore, because of lack of NAFDA registration, is now considered to be a seizure under Section 46 and 47 of Custom and Excise Management Act, Cap C 45, Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. These kind of drugs, they are very dangerous because there's no certification. This is a high concentrate of diclofenac, paracetamol, and a lot of other combinations.
While acknowledging the contribution of other sister agencies in achieving this success by the command, the Customs Area Controller stresses that deviants have no hiding place.
I thank other agencies here present who work collaboratively with us and ensure that we pursue the same course. And for those people who are recalcitrant in their behavior, we assure you, we pursue you, get you.
Comptroller Yusuf assures compliant traders of all the necessary support by the service, and in this context, the Apapa Area Command, noting that a key function of the Nigeria Customs Service is facilitation of compliant trade. In a deliberate and determined effort at suppressing the evil act of smuggling, while at the same time curtailing duty evasion by perpetrators of such, operatives at Federal Operation Unit Zone A have in the usual manner staged tremendous onslaught against smugglers and their associates, resulting in striking interceptions and recovery of revenue that would have been lost to unpatriotic elements. Efforts of the unit have prevented losses of revenue by government. Deputy Comptroller Hussein Ijibono reviews have led to recovery of 107,816,622 naira 75 kobo in September 2022. This, he says, is through issuance of demand notices. Interceptions made by the unit within the period under review have a total duty paid value of 622,407,586 naira. One of the striking seizures made within this period, and the first of its kind by the unit in terms of volume in 2022, is that of 1,955 bales of used clothing evacuated from an abandoned building around the Lagos International Trade Fair Complex owing to combined strategies of intelligence, threat, and enforcement.
Smuggling of used clothes has economic and health implications on our people. The government, in its wisdom, wants the local textile industry to enjoy protection and create more jobs for Nigerians, from the cotton farms through the textile and garment factories to our markets. The very serious health implication of this act of textile smuggling, that is second-hand clothing, is exposure of users to skin diseases like scabies and fungal diseases, which can be transmitted by wearing unwashed second-hand clothes. This is coming at a time when the world is wary of monkeypox, whose mode of transmission includes clothing. According to a World Health Organization fact sheet, monkeypox is transmitted to humans through close contact with an infected person or animal, or with material contaminated with the virus.
Other items intercepted include 7,328 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice, 121,550 liters of premium motor spirit, 68 cartons of frozen poultry, 37 crates of eggs used to conceal rice, and 150 kilogram parcels of Indian hemp.
Cannabis sativa is a substance that is used for criminality. I keep saying it. By the time when this is taken, it will increase their level of wickedness, and that will translate to a lot of dastardly acts.
Others are 1 unit of pump action rifle, 2 units of locally made guns, and 35 live cartridges. 5 suspects have been arrested in connection with some of the seizures made. Achieving these interceptions made by operatives, Deputy Comptroller Ijibono discloses as he takes members of the media around the intercepted items did not come without some resistance and even attacks by smugglers at some points, attacks which operatives have repelled successfully.
This pump action rifle was collected from one of the smugglers after heavy guns duel with my officers around the Diroko axis. They abandoned this and ran into the bush. But what is most important was that both the rifle, and the means of conveyance, we have it. And upon checking through, the vehicle used were fake. So making it difficult for us to trace. But however, we have not all still lost to chances. We are still making frantic effort to make sure we apprehend the suspect. See the live cartridges that we retrieved from the criminal. This damn gun too is along the same axis, Idiroku. He fired the shot and he dropped the gun and took to his heels. But the rice and the gun, we have them with us. The same thing this one. But one very good thing there is that with all the firing, all my men came back here hale and hearty. But we are happy that what they use in committing the crime, we apprehended and is with us here.
Deputy Comptroller Ijibono stresses that his unit is aware of the rise in smugglers' desperation towards the Yuletide period. Therefore, continuous strategizing is done ahead of them, not only to seize their wares, but also to arrest and make them face prosecution.
We, at our own end, we are highly unrelenting. The law is no respecter of any person. Nobody is above the law. No matter who you may be, in as much as you are found to have run foul of the law will catch up with you and you will be dealt with accordingly.
The Customs Area Controller reveals with delight that a federal high court has passed 3 judgments in favor of his unit on 3 criminal cases, securing the conviction of 6 people for being in possession of smuggled goods, while 6 civil suits against the unit have been dismissed for lack of merit. He uses this medium to extend gratitude to the Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Al-Retired, and his management team for making his unit's exploits possible due to their support and encouragement through provision of the needed logistics, firepower, and improved welfare, among other things.
Good morning.
So sorry, I didn't notice you coming.
Obviously, you look worried.
Please have a seat, have a seat.
What's the problem?
Well, I've been thinking about how to become a successful importer.
Perhaps you should say I came in at the right time. I just got my goods cleared. The process was seamless.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'll let you know how it goes. Well, intending importers should first find out goods classified as prohibition for import and export and other regulations. You can check by visiting www.customs.gov.ng.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Then you can proceed to contact your overseas supplier, contact your authorized dealer bank for E-Form M. Complete the E-Form M and attach import documents. Receive pre-arrival assessment report, PAR. Make declaration at the comfort of your home or office. Make assessment and pay duty. Once payment is received, the system will automatically trigger selectivity and tell you how your consignment will be examined. As long as your declaration matches with the cargo examination report, the goods are automatically released. Seamless imports await compliance traders. Be part of this. This message is from the Public Relations Unit of the Nigeria Customs Service.
Ogun 1 Command has continuously carried out its functions of generation of revenue, suppression of smuggling, facilitation of trade and contribution to enhancing the security of the nation. Third quarter 2022 is not less a successful year for the command, as disclosed by the Customs Area Controller of the command, Comptroller Bamidele Makinde. He begins with revenue generated by the command in third quarter 2022.
The command generated a sum of 38,507,267 naira revenue for the third quarter 2022. This revenue is from import duties and auction of petroleum products.
Suppression of smuggling efforts by the command has seen it intercept items with a total duty paid value of 341,116,290 naira. The items intercepted, the area controller discloses, include 11,358 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice intercepted at various locations across the command's area of operation, 1,550 pieces of used tires, and 180 bales of used clothing in a warehouse situated along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Other items which form part of the 227 seizures made by the command include 16 units of vehicles used as means of conveyance, as well as 89 bales of textile, 20 wraps of book-size cannabis sativa, and 2,706 kegs equivalent of 67,650 liters of premium motor spirit, PMS, to mention a few.
We were able to achieve this feat with the effective use of intelligence. Therefore, recalcitrant smugglers should note that the command through shield intensive and choking anti-smuggling activities driven by effective deployment of tenuous intelligence is all out for them. If I may paraphrase the proverb of one of Nigeria's highly revered author, late Chinua Achebe, since the men have learned to shoot without looking their map, AK the boy will also learn to fly without marching on a tree. Let me use this opportunity to commend the section of the business community which has been complying with the federal government fiscal policies. We assure them of our continued support by way of trade facilitation. As for the dialogue and with these smugglers, we want them to stay clear of smuggling activities, as the full weight of the law will be brought to bear on any arrested perpetrator of such acts.
While answering questions from members of the media, Comptroller Makinde dismisses the insinuation that some leaders of the host communities aid or support smuggling activities.
There is no traditional ruler that will support smuggling. The only thing that needed to be done more is enlightenment of the youth. No other who's ever supported. We have done visits to them, paid courtesy visit to all of them, and they are part of us. No king ever supported.
He reiterates the commitment of his command to providing the required assistance to patriotic Nigerians who wish to engage in legitimate business, while also adopting stakeholders' engagement, aggressive awareness campaign, and sports as means of suppressing smuggling as enforcement is maintained for deviants.
Throughout history, awards and honors have been instituted and given to individuals and organizations as a means of acknowledging their contributions either in the day-to-day activities of an organization, in any specific area of human endeavor, or for service to the country. People may therefore be tempted to ask the question, what is an award? An award could be a token or an object such as a trophy, a championship belt, especially in sports, a certificate, a plaque, etc. An award could be accompanied by a title, monetary reward, or scholarship. An award, therefore, is an acknowledgement that an individual or an organization has done something worthy of appreciation. An award is a form of approval of good work, and it is a mark of gratitude from an organization, a governmental agency, or even a nation. An award serves many purposes. First, it shows the recipient that his work is appreciated, and by the same token, challenges the recipient to do more. Similarly, an award challenges others to do their best so that they too could be recognized in the future. And finally, an award showcases the recipient to the general public as someone who has done something exceptional, something worthy of emulation. Over the years in our country, different awards have been instituted. Different organizations, agencies of government, civil society groups, educational institutions, private companies, and even the federal government of Nigeria have instituted various awards as a way of encouraging members, individuals and organizations, and even citizens to always give their best. In the military and in the police, exceptional display of gallantry and courage are usually rewarded with one form of award or another. This serves to motivate the officer or officers concerned that their actions are appreciated. It also inspires their colleagues and makes them understand that if they perform in the same manner, they too will equally be acknowledged. Since independence, many Nigerians in different walks of life have received different awards in different fields of endeavor. A look through our history, however, reveals that even before independence, the British colonial government acknowledged the essence of awards by rewarding many Nigerians with various awards, both before and after independence. In January 1960, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of blessed memory awarded Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa as a Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, KBE. This award was strictly for British citizens or citizens of the Commonwealth who are deemed to have rendered exceptional service to the British Empire. It was first instituted by King George V on June 4, 1917. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was to later become the first and only Prime Minister of an independent and sovereign Nigeria 10 months later after the award in October 1960. Also, Sir Ahmad Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, was awarded the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, CBE, by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in one of her birthday honors. Other prominent Nigerians to have received honors awards from the British Empire include Sir Francis Akano Ibia, former governor of the Eastern region of Nigeria; Sir Adetukumbo Ademola, a former Chief Justice of Nigeria; Oba Sir Musendiku Adeniji Adele II, former Oba of Lagos; Sir Shetima Kashim Ibrahim, a former governor of Northern Nigeria and Minister of Social Services. Other recipients include Sir Louis Mbanefo, Sir Kofu Abayomi, Sir Louis Odumegu Ojukwu, and many more. It must be noted, however, that after Nigeria became independent in 1960, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II continued to grant honors and awards to Nigerian citizens until 1963, when Nigeria became a republic, and Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II ceased to be the head of state of Nigeria. Today marks another historic occasion as a set of distinguished Nigerians who have excelled and distinguished themselves in different areas of human endeavor in service to the fatherland are set to be honored by President Muhammadu Buhari for their distinguished service. As they receive their awards, we challenge them not to rest on their oars, but to redouble their efforts in their various accomplishments and bring more glory and honor to Nigeria.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere.
To bring back the unity that we require in this country.
You are ready to fight for us, to vote for us.
Campaign for the Healthman seat gathers momentum in different parts of the country.
Commend the current leadership of all the security agencies in the country.
All correct. Borno State government and Nigeria police shake hands on rejuvenation of police infrastructure. Also on the news tonight, Nigeria showcases its tech startups at the GITEX exhibition in Dubai. Good evening and a warm welcome. This is NTA Network News. I am Jummai Yusuf. Hingino John Adam joins us from Lagos, and Asmau Habibu Shagari will be joining us from Sokoto later. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. We'll begin from Chad as General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno has been formally inaugurated as President of the Transition Government and Head of State of the Republic of Chad. This followed the extension of the country's transition period to democratic governance to 2 years by the National Sovereign Inclusive Dialogue, otherwise referred to as Forum for National Reconciliation. President Muhammadu Buhari was a special guest of honor at the event held in Jamena, from where State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The January 15 conference hall in the heart of N'Djamena was filled to capacity as a 38-year-old General Muhammad Idris Deby takes oath as head of state and president of the Chadian transition government. A broad consensus by participants at the just concluded National Sovereign Inclusive Dialogue agreed that General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno presides over the affairs of the country for a transition period of 24 months as head of state and is also eligible to run for presidency when elections are held. At the colorful, historic, and significant event, President Muhammad Idris Deby thanks the people of Chad for the renewed confidence in his leadership and promised not to let them down. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema speaks more on the promises made by the new Chadian leader.
He's promised an inclusive transition period, inclusive of the youth, of women, and the generality of Chadians. He's promised to deliver on time elections to the country. Then, of course, he's also promised a lot of economic benefits, and also to bring the Chadians together. And he talked about a new Chad that they want to see, and that the importance of exploiting the wealth of that country together for the benefit of the country.
One thing that cannot be ignored at the inauguration ceremony was the standing ovation given to President Muhammadu Buhari by participants as General Muhammad Idris Deby expresses sincere appreciation for the significant show of support and solidarity by the Nigerian leader.
He said Nigeria has been a very loyal friend that has really stood by Chad, without which Chad, he felt, would not have come so far.
It is important for the country that this powerful neighbor, Nigeria, stands with them at a moment when they are making this important decision to begin the process towards a democratic government.
But what informed President Muhammadu Buhari's decision to personally grace the occasion, despite the seeming lack of support and endorsement yet by the international community of the new transition arrangement in Chad?
President Muhammadu Buhari wants to send a very important, a very powerful message to the international community that peace, security, and stability in Chad are important, not only to Chad as a country, but to all of us, their neighbors, and the membership of the Lake Chad Basin countries. Without peace in Chad, there will be no peace in Nigeria, there will be no peace in the sub-region. And two, also, to indicate support of his administration and of the people and the government of Nigeria to the roadmap that the Chadians themselves have put together, that they wish to implement, that would hopefully lead to a transition to a democratic rule after all of these years of military dictatorship.
General Muhammad Idris Deby came to power in April last year following the death of his father, President Idris Deby Itno, after a 30-year reign in the vast Central African country. President Muhammadu Buhari has since returned to Abuja. Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Back home, stakeholders at the third Nigeria Digital Economy Summit holding in Abuja are looking into how Nigeria can become a global technology leader by harnessing opportunities brought about by the fourth industrial revolution. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi tells us more.
We are much better positioned to be significant players in Web3. And we've already shown that we have the talent, we have the creativity, and we have the acumen to build and grow major tech companies. At the last count, I think we have about 6 unicorns, and there are so many on the way. But we must spend time on the development of digital skills. And that is so important.
Speaking on the theme of the summit, Web 3.0, blockchain and decentralized finance, impact on Africa's digital economy.
Of how to make progress, thinking of how...
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo explains that the opportunity was not there in the 80s for Nigerians to take advantage of the range and depth that mobile telecommunications gave digital innovation, nor have access to the internet. That opportunity, he says, is now open, especially to the youth, to make a change.
Even central banks all over the world have to rethink their roles. And we've been saying this to our central bank in various ways, that, hey, look, we've got to start rethinking the role of the central bank. Blockchain will challenge the centralization of monetary authority. With the sheer number of people going to universities every year, that we're going to be building brick and mortar universities in the next 10, 20 years. Impossible. We must develop appropriate policies, regulations that promote rather than inhibit innovation and commerce. We can be world leaders in the Web3 revolution. The only limit is our vision.
The youth who are digital natives are who we now look up to. They have the unwavering potential to create a groundswell of digital innovation to solve the array of development challenges we face on the continent.
Organizers of the summit said they are making the fourth industrial revolution Africa's revolution towards economic growth and inclusive prosperity. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Now let's talk politics. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, is assuring Nigerians of its readiness to restore the country's economy, provide adequate security and jobs for the teeming unemployed if voted into power in 2023. Presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, stated this at the PDP presidential campaign flag-off in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel has details.
Presidential campaign flag-off of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, had in attendance party faithful and support groups from across the country converging on the city of Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, in support of the party and its various candidates. Setting the tone for the event, the Presidential Campaign Council Chairman, Udome Emmanuel, and other critical stakeholders in their various remarks harp on reasons why the party should be supported by all Nigerians in the 2023 general elections.
Given the cause of our unity that have been fractured, restore hope and faith in our common dreams and aspirations begins today. Nigerians are hoping that what we did to them in the first 16 years, we will come back and do it again.
So I can feel it with enormous experience is nobody else than Atiku Abubakar.
PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, while assuring Nigerians of better days ahead if emerges as winner of the election, pledges to unite and restore the country to its old good days.
To rescue Nigeria from hunger, to rescue Nigeria from poverty, and also to bring back the unity that we require in this country. There's a great problem in the land, and we are looking for a rescuer.
In attendance were present and past PDP governors, senators, party leaders, as well as PDP candidates at all levels. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
On the other hand, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has inaugurated its Women Presidential Campaign Council. The campaign council, headed by wife of the APC presidential candidate, Senator Remi Tinubu, was inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa. Amina Baba Suleiman reports.
More than 1,000 women are part of this high-powered campaign council inaugurated. The task is clear, and the determination to accomplish it is non-negotiable, not with the First Lady as its grand patron and the ranking Senator Oluremi Tinubu as chairperson. The First Lady and wives of the APC presidential candidate and his running mate are coordinating the council activities with support of wives of the state governors and other women politicians at all levels.
Our party has also done well to recognize the importance of women and youths who form a majority of the electorate by involving them in the entire political campaign movement.
And I have immense confidence in the ability of the amazing team assembled here today to secure the women's vote for APC. I demand from women a stronger and political spirit of cooperation and understanding in our engagement.
You would realize that women make up more than 50% of the voting population for that election.
APC presidential candidate and the Director General Tinubu Shettima Campaign Council are optimistic that the caliber of women inaugurated will do justice to the task.
Is here. Hope is here. Assurance is here. Promise is here. Prosperity is here. Health is here. Security is here.
I charge the women team to go all over Nigeria, particularly in the grassroots, and sell the agenda and the vision of our candidate.
We are more than encouraged with your turnout today and with the pronouncement that we've heard from you.
To them, the place of women will continue to remain central in the APC administration beyond 2023. In Abuja, Amina Baba Suleiman, NTA News.
Let's bring you up to speed with other news as Borno State government has restated commitment towards rebuilding of police formations in liberated local government areas as part of the post-insurgency recovery phase of entrenching civil authority. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum made the commitment together with the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, at the inauguration of Divisional Police Station and Barrack in Benishek, headquarters of Kaga local government area built by the Nigeria Police. Muhammad Guni reports.
Governor Babagana Umara Zulum was impressed by the ultra-modern edifice
built by the police authorities, which he described as first of its kind in local government areas, assuring of Borno State government's continued support to the State Police Command in its determination to fight all forms of crimes and criminalities.
Let me use this opportunity to commend the current leadership of all the security agencies in the country for the synergy that exists between them.
The governor enjoined police personnel to ensure maintenance of the edifice with a pledge that Borno State government will replicate similar projects in some of the local government areas. Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba assured commitment of the leadership of the Nigerian police towards improving the welfare of its personnel and urged them to ensure the maintenance of the facilities. He tasked members of the public on the need to embrace community policing in their respective localities and further use the opportunity to call on politicians to play the game according to the rules and also cooperate with the police to regulate campaigns to ensure peace and tranquility during the period.
In the Skill Acquisition Center, which I have promised, I have done it, it is in the making. The local government chairman has provided a space. We are going to put some tools that will give you some traits.
The IGP was full of praises to the Borno State government for the massive support to the Nigerian police and other security outfits in the state. Borno State Police Commissioner Abdul Umar said the command lost 389 policemen to the activities of the insurgents with 450 injured, while 24 police barracks and 30 police stations were destroyed. He appreciated Governor Bagana Umar Azulum for the support to the families of the fallen heroes and police command in general. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Goni, NTA News.
We'll pause for some messages. The news continues shortly. Do stay.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, has approved the conferment of the Award of National Honors on some distinguished Nigerians and friends of Nigeria. Date, Tuesday, 11th October 2022. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Venue, International Conference Center, Abuja. Chief host, Senator George Akume, FNIM, Honorable Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. The list of the awardees will be published in the Daily Trust, Leadership, This Day, and The Nation newspapers of Sunday 9th and Monday 10th October 2022. Please note also that there will be rapid COVID-19 tests for awardees, which will take place on Monday 10th October 2022 from 10 a.m. at designated hotels. Awardees are entitled to one guest. Awardees and guests should be seated by 8 a.m. prompt. For further inquiries and clarification, please contact the Secretary, National Awards Committee on the following telephone numbers: 0805-938-2659, 0808-218-2222, and 0803-450-8837. Announcer, Eugenia Roberts, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs.
Me, it depends you. It depends us. It depends everybody. Yes. But what? Bloodshed, scatter, come out. It no go suffer. This one they talk. And make them go if they want go. This one they talk. We go come out, we go. This one say, make we scatter, make we burn, make we do everything. When you scatter finish, where you go? Okay, you go take private jet, carry your family go. But make I ask you, what about your uncle, mama, auntie, brother, sister? What about them? Remember, who throw stone for market? You don't know whether the stone go touch your own person. If the thing will go come out from your mouth, you know go fit gather us together as one people. Shut up with please. War no get friend. You know no language. You know anything. So if our we get too much, make we sit down at the table of dialogue. Nigeria na my own. Nigeria na your own. Nigeria na our own. Make we come together and keep them together.
They say nothing good comes easy, but with determination and sheer focus, Boa Foods finds new ways to put food on many plates. We produce competitively priced sugar, flour, and pasta that are highly sought after by our corporate and trade partners. At Boa Foods, we remain committed to lead with purpose and make a difference by embracing the responsibility to meet Africa's growing food demand. We dare to lead, so can you. Boa Foods, nourishing lives.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, welcomes President and heads of government, the UNESCO Director General, Ms. Audrey Azoula, and other UN officials, foreign ministers, ambassadors, international dignitaries, and members of the Federal Executive Council to the UNESCO Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 with the theme, Nurturing Trust, a Media and Information Literacy Imperative. Date, 24th to 31st October 2022. Opening session, 24th October 2022 at the Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time, 3 p.m. The other sessions of the Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 will take place at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
Friday, November 11, 2022. History will be made in the maiden edition of the Nigerian Marketing Awards.
Are you ready? It's happening live at the prestigious Eco Convention Center, Lagos, from 6 p.m. on.
It's a night where excellence and hard work will be rewarded in grand style. Be a part of this amazing experience. Save the date. The Nigerian Marketing Awards is internationally accredited by the Independent Awards Standards Council.
You're welcome back. The Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, PCN, has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for signing the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria Establishment Act 2022 bill into law. The chairman of the governing council of PCN, Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora, while speaking with journalists on gazetting of the new PCN Act and enforcement activities nationwide, says the new act will advance the profession in the country. Basi Ita-Epan reports.
Pharmacists Council of Nigeria is saddled with the responsibility of effectively regulating and controlling the trainings and practice of pharmaceutical service providers in the country. Between 2018 to date, a total of 27,262 facilities were visited for enforcement activities. Out of this number, 19,059 of them were shut down. Justifying their action, the chairman observed that drugs are cornerstones of pharmacy education and practice, noting that drugs can make the difference between life and death.
That's why we must be regulated. A manufacturer of pharmaceutical products with the wrong label, with the wrong medication, could kill thousands.
It shows that henceforth, moving forward in this country, regulation of this category of individuals, even though we need them, is going to face one direction, and that gives us hope.
He stated that the now repealed Pharmacists Council was established through Decree 91 of 1992, which was 30 years ago. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
Now, it is the first time in-person meeting by the IMF and the World Bank since COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot has happened in the global economy since then. Let's join Leah Katum Baba today for the curtain raiser.
This is the first in-person meeting since the pandemic, 3 years after activities here were forced to go virtual. The curtains have been raised as the IMF and the World Bank open their doors to receive policymakers, the business community, opinion shapers, the civil society, and a whole lot more. For Kristalina Georgieva and David Malpas, the task is daunting as the world paddles through the murky waters of COVID-19 exacerbated by the war between Russia and Ukraine, with a global recession staring everyone in the face.
Those are all issues. World Bank has a lot of data coming out. We did our poverty report last week for the first time in 2 years, or it's a 2-year cycle. It shows 70 million more in poverty, and also very concerning, a 4% reduction in median income.
We have to join forces to help emerging markets and developing economies that are particularly hard hit by tightening of financial conditions.
They say there is a profound urgency for policymakers, international organizations and the private sector to take decisive and coordinated action to build resilience in an era of volatility. The coming days will define the next steps leaders will be taking to not only keep everyone safe, but reduce poverty as well as position the global economy for desired growth. In Washington, D.C., Leah Katingbaba today, NTA News.
Still talking economy, Nigeria's ambassador to Egypt, Noura Abba Irimi, has revealed that federal government's diversification agenda is gaining momentum across Africa as Nigeria is in talks with Egypt to produce wheat and rice for export. Rimi was speaking at the ongoing Nigeria-Egypt Trade Conference in Cairo. Benny Adams has details.
Data from United Nations Comtrade on international trade reveals Egypt's exports to Nigeria in 2021 amounted to $138.4 million, while Nigeria's export to Egypt was $2.96 million in the same period. For Nigeria, it is bad news, but determined to see and take the opportunities therein.
We are on course to becoming the third largest national market in the world.
For the Egyptians, such a number is unacceptable for Africa's two largest economies combined.
68% of our export is a raw material. That's wrong. We cannot allow that to happen. We should use our raw materials and make made in Africa. It doesn't matter, made in Egypt, made in Nigeria, made in Kenya, made in South Africa.
Beyond the talk, one man's vision is about to change the narrative.
There are a lot of companies that we are going to kickstart like a live keen into a business in Nigeria with some Egyptian company tomorrow.
Nigeria recently opened the first export trade house in Egypt. This will serve as the central point for made in Nigeria products to be shipped to all parts of the world. And recently we started talking about Nigeria producing rice and wheat for Egypt.
Having unanimously agreed that the African continental market must work for Africa, speakers agreed to continue the push for implementation of reforms that promote transparency, ease of doing business, and partnerships that are beneficial to all. The conference continues tomorrow with matchmaking sessions with the hope that bigger deals for Africa's prosperity will be signed. From Cairo, Egypt, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The nation's accountants, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, has taken account of its 52 years of existence in Nigeria. It is now counting on a new generation of accountants to keep the body perpetually relevant. It is whetting the appetite of students in various learning institutions in an interactive session to assist them discover their potential for a career in accounting that matches their own passion and goals. Neka Oko reports.
Professional accountants from all parts of the country have converged on Abuja for the 52nd annual ICAN conference. The balance sheet of the conference also provides new threads on initiatives that will enhance the profession for greater impact and relevance. This year, the conference started with a campaign to help students understand the benefits and possibilities in pursuing a career in accounting.
We met students from several tuition houses and institutions to tell them what the prospect there in accounting profession, how to be accountants, and then take accountancy as a profession.
The president of the International Federation of Accountants, Alan Johnson, in a keynote address, makes his calculations and deductions on the premise of integrity in the public sector as the hallmark of modern democratic governance, and enjoined the students to consider working in the public sector to make a difference.
Corruption doesn't happen, of course, in a vacuum, and professional accountants can help set the standards required. So we need to make sure we have a concerted effort right across society. Civil society, public sector, private organizations play an important role to make sure we eliminate as much as we can any forms of corruption.
For
for what he said about President about integrity and transparency. I think I'm going to stick to it forever because, accounting is something that has to do with accuracy and, giving correct statement and all. So, it's not everybody that's able to do that, but with the way he spoke, I was really touched, and I hope I will continue to stick with that.
We need a professional to guide the sector of accounting. You cannot leave that sector for, let me say, unqualified people.
The conference is expected to last for 5 days. In Abuja, Neka Oku, NTA News.
Other issues now, both the leadership of the House of Representatives and the Academic Staff Union of Universities are confident that the ongoing strike action by members of ASU will end soon. At a reconvened meeting Monday evening, House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila said demands such as provision of revitalization funds and salaries have been taken care of.
The strike will be called up in a matter of days. What we have agreed with ASU now is basically to put everything on paper, sign off, and I believe if we had met yesterday, ASU and the papers have been drawn up, ASU I'm sure would have called off the strike today.
He added that 470 billion naira is being provided in the 2023 budget, while a tripartite meeting will be held with House leadership, ASU, and Office of the Accountant General of the Federation concerning the Utah salary structure proposed by ASU. The president of ASU, in his response, commended the efforts by the House leadership, saying that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
What we have seen today, I think for the first time since this action started, we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, because this is the first time we're having a such thing that, and we hope this time around, there will not be any attempt by any person or group to create something that will also make us run into anything again. We hope that this will be the final.
This meeting is the third between the House leadership and ASU towards resolving the lingering strike action. President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with the chairman CEO of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, on her 60th birthday, October 11, 2022. Joining family, friends and associates to celebrate with the patriot whose passion to serve keeps leading her to greater heights. President Buhari affirms that the renowned journalist who was elected member of the House of Representatives in 2003, 2007 and 2011 continues to define exemplary leadership with every opportunity, following the trajectory of lifting up others, putting the spotlight on the vulnerable and giving voice to the voiceless. As the chairman of NITCAM turns 60, the president salutes her courage in seeing beyond the ordinary and following up to ensure that ideas are turned into institutions so that generations can share in the capacity of government. President Buhari prays for the well-being of the visionary leader, committed public servant, and that of our family. Hingino is in Lagos, actually. Hello, Hingino.
Jumway, and welcome to Lagos. Considering the economic importance of Apapa ports to the realization of President Buhari administration's agenda on diversification of the nation's economy, rehabilitation of Apapa Road to serve as a true conveyor of goods and services is a national imperative. In this report, Ruth Ario Samuel takes a look at efforts by the federal government to rehabilitate the road by adopting concrete technology for effective service delivery.
And Liverpool roads all link the Apapa Wharf, the nation's economic hub. The road, built in 1975, witnessed little or no rehabilitation after its construction, while it failed along different sections with only trailers and trucks cluttering every available space on the arterial route. The situation normally became tough for motorists to ply during the rainy season. While the nightmare lasted, businesses suffered and some closed shops. However, The story has changed, not just because the federal government has finally intervened, but because the usual bituminous template for road rehabilitation has been jettisoned in favor of the use of concrete pavement in reconstructing the Apapa Road.
Areas that are waterlogged, it's better we use a concrete pavement and it makes it longer. And in the maintenance aspect of it, it is easier because we have almost all the materials here. We have the rocks here. We manufacture cement here in the country locally.
Most of the pavement, they are going for the concrete pavement, which will afford us because it carries much more load. You know, when you the same load on the concrete pavement and the road pavement, the flexible pavement, it will tend to crack faster on the flexible pavement. The concrete pavement can sustain much more load.
For the distraught residents, motorists and businesses along the Apapa ports, relief has finally come as they now experience a new lease to life through the introduction of concrete pavement by the contractor in the project.
This pattern is one of the best, I should tell you, because if we had to go back when they were using Krota and the rest of them, with the heavy weight of this Apapa port, it won't last.
Now the traffic is down. They don't go after they don't go to this road. They reduce the traffic. I take to this road. They do it through this concrete.
With the determination of President Buhari's administration to strengthen critical infrastructure across the country, adoption of concrete technology in road rehabilitation will not only reduce the high cost of road construction by government, but will to a large extent offer lasting solutions to perennial road construction. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
Heroes and heroines are words and opposite according to English language, but in their essence, they basically means the same thing. In this report, Amaka takes a look at how much Nigeria is putting into recognizing her heroines in the light of their contribution to national development.
One of the lines from the national anthem reads, "The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain." True to these lines, a grateful nation acknowledges the contributions of heroes of independence by embarking on periodic ritual of immortalizing their names. While the heroes get due acknowledgement from time to time, the heroines are not left out, as national celebrations such as the Independence Anniversary provides platforms to examine the far-reaching impact of their own contributions.
Today should be taught in schools, that let children know more about it. Let people that are growing up grow to love female heroines.
I strongly believe that. And even a good friend of mine, a close friend of mine, Mr. Dr. Adadepo, you know, we need more recognition for our women heroines in Nigeria, because there's a lot that women do, both in front and behind the scenes.
I want to see a woman featured on one of our currency notes. That's the least we can do, not to mention naming up more airports. And, you know, they need to be celebrated.
Considering how much these heroines, including the likes of Margaret Ebo and Olufumilayo Ransom Kuti, put into mobilizing the grassroots against the excesses of the then colonial government, how well is the current generation of women doing in this regard?
They need to be confident of themselves, just as the men, and develop those attributes that God has given to them.
Over the last 50 years, the population of women grew from 29 million to over 100 million. This implies that more female contributions are expected to meet the development needs of the nation. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Musa is standing by in Abuja with business news, but that will be after this break.
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex Headache and Fever. For body pain, trust Sudrex Joint and Muscle Pain. Sudrex acts fast for headache and pain relief. Sudrex, overcome pain challenge. Win your day.
Thank you. Hi there.
You can price, Sha, but you're always saving on everything except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain. How? On this cleaning product. Impossible. You need the new Harpic toilet cleaner. With just 130 naira sachet of Harpic toilet cleaner, you save 4. Harpic stick formula stays longer, so it cleans 10 times better. Wow, hey! And it's safe because it's only 30 naira, giving you a sparkling clean toilet and great savings too.
Woohoo! It's time to get back to school, and this time going back to school will be even much more fun for everyone. Oh, wow! Because with Capri-Sun, you get free pencils, erasers, sharpeners, and more in our free Edu Kit in every carton of Capri-Sun.
Just great taste and all of the fun to take back to school in the Capri-Sun Back to School promo. Capri-Sun, the taste of fun.
T's and C's apply. Bring your small business from where it is to where you want it to be requires all the support you can get. GrowBiz from Keystone Bank, you have it all to unlock your business potentials. Open a GrowBiz account and receive business and financial advisory to give your business the edge to always succeed in the marketplace. Enjoy the free access to the MSME Academy, which helps your capacity to grow your business. Business loans with attractive interest rates to fund your business with ease. Maintaining your GrowBiz account comes at no cost at all. You have the business and our support. Sign on to the GrowBiz account on KeystoneBankNG.com and get the support your business needs to grow. Keystone Bank, we grow together.
If you want to become something, become a child again. Why be a patient? If you must worry, don't worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bring in germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
One important thing can increase your chance of success. Confidence.
Confidence. Where do I find that, Jose?
First rule, you need a goal.
I don't play soccer.
Not that kind of goal. What do you want from life?
Happiness.
Success.
Checkmate. Next, you need a strategy.
I got you. Like a game plan.
Put in the work and stick to it, and you will have the financial confidence to achieve anything.
Wait. Hey, Mama T, wetin COVID vaccine poster they do for your domot? Abi, you don't begin work for those people.
Big mommy, na me put the poster there. Our teacher say COVID-19 vaccine dey safe well, and it go protect you, me, and all our family from COVID-19. Our teacher sabi road, big mommy. Make you follow who know road.
My name is Dr. Chinonso Egemba, and they call me Aproko Doctor. The COVID-19 vaccine na ogbonge way to take protect you and your family from wahala, sickness, and death from COVID-19. Or you have to get your own free COVID-19 vaccine. Sharply go any healthcare facility way near you.
She's a wandering light in the darkness. She's beautiful. Oh, she's a superstar. She never let her number down. She's beautiful. She don't care. She don't ever got it for them.
No phones at the table, please. Yes, sir. I love you too.
Don't forget I'll pick your phone.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Still watching NTA Network News. Now let's talk business. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says it has calculated that about 1/3 equivalent of the world economy will have at least 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth this year and next year. Managing Director of the fund, Kristalina Georgieva, stated this at the ongoing IMF World Bank annual meetings in Washington. She explained that the total amount that will be wiped out by the slowdown of the world economy is going to be $4 trillion between now and 2026.
What we are advocating for, David, are actions in 3 areas. First, contain inflation. We cannot afford inflation to be a runaway train. And we are risking, if we don't have strong action for this to happen. But it is a very, very difficult road to navigate, because if you don't do enough, we are in trouble. And of course, inflation is a dramatic tax, especially on the poor people. It is painful for people, so some support is necessary, but that support has to be well targeted, because if it is not, then we are adding fuel to the flames of inflation.
About the energy market, oil prices edged lower on Monday as investors weigh economic storm clouds that could foreshadow a global recession and erode fuel demand against potentially tighter supply. CNBC reports that Brent crude futures fell 69 cents or 0.7% to $97.23 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude declined by 36 cents to $92.57 a barrel. That's a quick look at business news. The news continues with Jumai.
Thank you, Musa. The attention of employees in the formal and informal sectors has again been drawn to key into the healthcare services provided under the National Health Insurance Authority for the attainment of universal healthcare coverage. This came to the fore at a one-day engagement that has in attendance government employees and representatives of the public and private sectors held in Damaturu, Yobe State Capital. Bashir Nababa completes the report.
This is an assemblage of stakeholders that cut across federal and state government ministries, departments and agencies, as well as representatives of the private and informal sectors operating in Yobe State. The reason for their gathering here is none other than to intimate them on the National Health Insurance Authority's Group, Individual and Family Social Health Insurance Program, GIFSHIP, by which the federal, in collaboration with the state government, seeks to ensure inclusiveness of all segments of the society in the provision of quality healthcare services at affordable cost. Participants at the workshop indicated their readiness to step down the knowledge acquired to others.
At times we pick quarrel with the health facility, not knowing what is supposed to be done there. But today we've got to know that.
Now with this lesson now, or with this discussion, I was able to know our rights.
Disseminate the information that they must have gotten from this gathering to their co-workers.
We are all here this morning with our stakeholders. We organize a stakeholders engagement in order to sensitize our stakeholders concerning the recent development and innovations introduced by the new
The National Health Insurance Authority Act 2022 was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari in May to repeal the National Health Insurance Scheme Act of 1999. From Damaturu, Bashir Nababa, NTA News.
Asma is standing by in our Sokoto Network Center. Hello, Asma, it's good to see you.
Jumai, it's good to see you too. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. Supporters of the People's Democratic Party in Sokoto State have been tasked to remain united and canvass for more support for the party to succeed at all levels come 2023 general elections. Correspondent Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports that this was coming at the party's youth supporters stakeholders gathering in Sokoto.
It was a gathering of stalwarts of the People's Democratic Party, including youth representatives,
from 23 local government areas of the state. This is with a view to making the party more united and stronger, particularly among youth supporters, and to strategize on ways of contributing to the success of the party at all levels come 2023 general elections in the country. Stalwarts of the party that includes Sokoto State governorship flag bearer Saidu Umar Ubanduma and his running mate Sagira Tahiru Baprawa called on the youths in the state to always remain calm, peaceful, and law-abiding during and after political campaigns. They tasked them to canvass for more support for the party to succeed at the polls. Youths that spoke at the event reaffirmed their support and loyalty, assuring of working towards the success of the party in the state. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
A call has gone to leaders in the country to emulate leadership quality of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for harmonious and peaceful coexistence in the society. This was part of submissions by Islamic clerics at a Maulud of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, organized by Sababul Gadriya, Sokoto State, held at Sheikh Usman bin Fodio Jumaat Mosque, Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Datti again reports.
أرسل رسوله للهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا.
This was at the Maulud of the Noble Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him, that brought together Muslim Ummah of Qadriya sect from within the state and beyond. They converge to remind Muslims on the need to always love Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and by extension, teach their children as enshrined in the Quran and prophetic traditions. Leaders were enjoined to emulate the leadership style of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for a peaceful coexistence in the society. Speakers at the event, that includes Sokoto State Deputy Governor Muhammad Madad Danya, admonished Muslims to show love and affection to the Prophet. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar, represented by Professor Sambuwali Junaid, Wazir Sokoto, commended organizers and admonished Muslims to be peaceful. Clerics at the event attributed current challenges in the country to the citizens' wrongdoings and called for repentance. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Quick reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the news will continue with Jumai in Abuja.
This blessing be yours, forever to keep a calm and peaceful sleep.
Removes mosquitoes so you can sleep a calm and peaceful sleep. Good night, Electric.
Thank you. Hi there. Hello. You can price shop, but you're always saving on everything except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain. How? On this cleaning product. Impossible. You need the new Harpic toilet cleaner. With just 130 naira sachet of Harpic toilet cleaner, you save more. Harpic stick formula stays longer, so it cleans 10 times better. Wow, Helen! And it saves because it's only 30 naira, giving you a sparkling clean toilet and great savings too.
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex headache and fever for body pain. Trust Sudrex joint and muscle pain. Sudrex acts fast for headache and pain relief. Sudrex, overcome pain challenge. Win your day.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news, or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. Sports Update is next.
President of Nigeria Football Federation Ibrahim Guzo has challenged Rivers United, Plateau United and Kwara United to ensure progress into the group stages of the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup following battling performances against North African opponents in Nigeria, where the three clubs came from behind to win their matches, with Plateau United and Rivers United winning 2-1 apiece over Esperance of Tunisia and Wydad Casablanca of Morocco in the Champions League, while Kwara United won 3-1 against RS Berkane in Confederation Cup. Meanwhile, football fans look forward to positive outcome in the reverse fixtures come weekend, even as they point to stiff opposition by North African clubs on home soil.
Going out there will not be very easy. It's going to be a different ball game entirely. It's not a big lead, but I think it will be very tough. Not that it will not be doable or achievable, but it will be very, very tough for all of them.
Best way to defend is to attack. They should actually, watch out for counter-attack, from their various side, because the North African get to use that a lot. So I feel they're able to hold their own, or hold them at bay. I feel they stand a chance to qualify to the next round.
How would it have been if they've lost or get a draw here in Nigeria? They would have forgotten it. But let's just hope they'll put all their arsenal together and do the needful to ensure that Nigeria at least have one representative each.
Team Nigeria to the 2022 World Track Cycling Championship billed for October 12 to 16 in Paris have expressed readiness to do the nation proud as they look forward to qualifying for the next Olympic Games. The 4 female cyclists who have been in camp in Abuja for over a month departed the country Monday. That's Sports Update. I am Kenen Ima Aborike, NTA News.
The death has been announced of Madam Ezinne Omeago Bridget Ehabo at the age of 70. The deceased hailed from a Bermudian community in Ika South local government area of Delta State. She was an educationist and is survived by 7 children, 20 grandchildren, relatives and associates. Her remains will be laid to rest on Friday, October 14, 2022 in the family compound in Agbo, Delta State. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you so much for watching. I am Jumba Yusuf. Remember to stand with NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. Good night.
On conversation, we have 14.3 million Nigerians abusing illicit substances, and that is not even all. We're talking of those within the age bracket of 15 and 64.
If these things are not selling, if people are not patronizing them, then it will not be in the market.
I know of at least 2 instances where toddlers are being fed hard alcohol by the parents.
They think they can get away from their troubles. By the time the drugs wear out, does the problem go away? It's coming back. Join us this Wednesday, October 12th at 9 a.m. to continue this conversation. Drug abuse. We must stamp it out of our system.
Did you get to see the way telling about the post this? Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between picking, child, and is.
It's actually cool. The idea that is
and do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of.
Congratulations, you've been able to sign Tino Werner from RB Leipzig.
You take water before your workout.
people have used their phone using TikTok to do is that
A lot of people don't even have resources.
I'm Cecil, and this is the Medley Show on NTA.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative, and interactive on national issues, accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the social investments program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
I'm a teacher by profession.
I trained as a nurse.
I could not even remember some of them, but by their approach, greeting, and respect.
I make beads. I liquid soap is. I have stopped buying liquid soap from the market. I make it, and I teach these young ones how to do that. And when I do, it is not for any fee.
In most cases, I serve as consultants. Many people come to me inquiring how to go about doing the farming. I normally direct them on what to do.
Right now, I'm not into any paid job, as I said, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Senior citizens over the years have shown that they are still capable of working. They have shown that retirement is only but a social construct, not a limitation. Senior citizens until the end carry around a wealth of knowledge that we can tap into. They have walked these journeys we now walk today. They have amassed all of these experiences so they can stand holding the torch so we do not stumble in the dark. Our senior citizens are national assets, packed full with inestimable value. They should not be condemned to a life of obscurity, but one where they serve to illuminate our path. Promoting senior citizens for intergenerational workforce.
The Ministry of Police Affairs under my watch has been instrumental in strengthening the Nigerian police force to tackle challenges in the internal security architecture of the nation. To effectively achieve its mandate to protect lives and property within Nigeria, the Nigerian police have deployed operational intelligence and ICT-based apparatus to tackle and stem the tide of crime and criminality. Some of these efforts include the maximization of the Force Intelligence Bureau, Intelligence Response Team, and Special Tactical Squads through digitalization of emergency contacts via the NPF Rescue Me application for emergency response at the tap of a button.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
National Commission has made the necessary for your comfort. The preparation is very good.
I'm very happy, extremely happy, because this is my first time.
And I prepare to follow the rules and regulations given to you.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لا شريك لبيك والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Happy Maulud and welcome to another edition of the program as we answer the call. I'm Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor. To the Muslim Ummah, Maulud is not just a period for celebrations, but also one that calls for reflection and to imbibe the lessons embedded in the life and times of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Now to the program. The second edition of Nigeria-Saudi Arabia Joint Commission Summit took place in Abuja recently. The summit is usually an opportunity for the two countries to further strengthen their long-standing bilateral cooperation, particularly in the area of Hajj management and administration. With the second edition just ended, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria is taking in all the lessons and exploring avenues of making the best of the summit. In our spotlight segment tonight, we shall examine what is at stake for the two countries. Also coming up in the program are NACON News Diary and Making the Hajj. As expected, a winner has emerged for last week's quiz. Details in the course of the program. Don't go away.
Lessons learned from this year are meant to serve as an experience to make it better next year. We already started the strategy and the plan for next year's Hajj. We know that Allah's willing, it will be much more better than the experience that has just ended.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the news diary. Stay with us.
The chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, said the commission will continue to improve its digital transformation for better Hajj management. He stated this while answering questions at a panel discussion in Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. The panel discussion was part of activities lined up by the Indonesian Hajj Fund Management Agency to mark its 4th International Hajj Conference. The conference, which took place on Friday, the 7th of October 2022, had the theme Digitalization and Inclusivity of Hajj Ecosystem.
The world, like I said, has changed, and you must change with the world in order to survive. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. If you want to be also involved in Hajj management, you also have to use IT, because now, in the corridor of your house, that's where you process the visa. You don't need to go to the embassy. You don't need to go to any other place. So definitely, it is clear that you must be digitalized. And in our case, in the National Hajj Commission, and that's why we have decided to do what we call digital transformation. We're still in the process. We haven't got to where exactly we would like to be, but we have started that we need to actually follow the trends of the world.
The moderator further asked this question about Hajj financial institutions in Nigeria.
How do you manage your Hajj fund so far? How do you involve the financial institutions in the country?
Well, in the past, we didn't have what I would call an efficient Hajj financial management. But it will be curious for you to note that it was during COVID, when there were no Hajj at all, that we started our Hajj saving and investment scheme in Nigeria. It was during COVID. And for us, it was a very good learning experience in the sense that despite that there were no Hajj, and of course, very few business. I mean, as you know, most people were not able to move, yet we were able to mobilize in those 2 years over what is about 12 billion naira. How much is that in dollars? Somebody can help me. And how much is 12 billion naira in dollars? We were able to mobilize billions of Nigerian naira. I will get to the equivalent in dollars. Despite that there were no, that should be about $30 million, I think.
$30 million.
Yeah, that's why there were no COVID, and we're just starting the process. It's just been accepted that it should save. And we make some profit as well, which were distributed to the stakeholders. I mean, profit apportioned to stakeholders. So we see a very bright future.
Alhaji Zikrullah added that NACON is studying the savings scheme in Indonesia and hoping that it can apply some aspects that are suitable to the Nigerian situation.
We're here to do a study of how Indonesia are doing it and the problems that are associated with it. We want to get away with our knowledge without the problem. That's why we came here, so that we can learn fast what are the problems Indonesia has and overcome it, so we don't start with the problems.
Next to you. He's,
yes.
He's someone that you need to talk
to.
Yes,
cool. We've learned quite a lot.
The NACON boss said the commission is making efforts to cushion the impact of the hike in Hajj fare.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the signing of the LOI between BPKH and NACON.
Similarly, NACON and Indonesian Hajj savings agencies have signed an MOU to collaborate in matters of Hajj management.
Applause for the signing of the LOI and the MOU. Thank you very much.
The Nigerian delegation, which comprised NACON officials and representatives of state pilgrims welfare boards, also participated in other activities for experience sharing on Hajj matters. The study tour is part of Islamic Development Bank's support in the promotion of Hajj fund management. Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs has confirmed Dr. Suleiman Afikpo to become commissioner at NACON, representing the Southeast Geopolitical Zone. The committee, led by Senator Muhammad Adamu Bulkachua, endorsed his appointment after subjecting him to the necessary legislative scrutiny. Dr. Suleiman hails from Ebonyi State. Until his appointment to NACON board, he was a director at an NGO in Abuja known as Global Islamic Research Institute. He replaced Alhaji Ama, who died last year after a brief illness in Lagos. In a related development, the newly appointed chairman of Yobe State Pilgrims Commission, Alhaji Usman Biriri, has assumed office and will be there for a period of 4 years. At the taking over ceremony, which took place at the Commission's office in Damaturu on Wednesday, the 5th of October 2022, the new chairman solicited the support and cooperation of his staff. He thanked his immediate predecessor for his role in transforming the Commission to deliver on its services. While thanking Governor Mai Mala Buni for the appointment, he vowed to justify the confidence reposed in him.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching as you answer the call. A public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, and other Hajj-related matters. Nigeria and Saudi Arabia have committed to further strengthen all aspects of their bilateral relationship. The decision was part of agreement reached at the recent summit of the Nigerian-Saudi Arabia Joint Commission, which took place in Abuja. The MOU signed at the event covered many areas such as education, investment, defense, trade and investment, drugs trafficking, as well as Hajj and many more. How will NACON benefit from the Hajj component of the MOUs, and what impact will it have on service delivery to pilgrims? For answers to these and more, stay tuned for the next segment, Spotlight. Don't go away.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
This was a gathering for the Nigerian-Saudi Arabia Joint Commission, the second since it started. It took place at the complex of the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja. High-level officials from the two countries led their respective technocrats to discuss areas of mutual benefits and sign an MOU for its actualization. While declaring the Joint Commission open, Nigerian Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, said Nigeria is committed to ensuring a win-win relationship between the two countries.
A number of MOUs and agreements covering various aspects of bilateral cooperation were signed between our two countries. I hosted this second session of the Joint Commission today. Nigeria, which attaches great importance to our relations with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is demonstrating her strong and unwavering commitment to further boost and elevate the existing historical ties binding our two countries to a much higher level. We hereby also affirm our determination to ensure that these relations are transformed into a win-win partnership, again, like I've said, for our mutual benefits.
On his part, the Saudi Deputy Minister for Agriculture, Engineer Ahmad Al-Khamshi, who spoke in Arabic, said his country accords great importance to the General Agreement on Cooperation signed in 2003 between Saudi Arabia and Nigeria. He noted that the Joint Commission meetings are the avenues for the implementation of the agreement, also serving as the foundation for enhancing the relationship between the two countries. With second summit over, how is the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, benefiting from the activities of the Joint Commission? Acting Chairman of NACON and the Commissioner of Operations, Alhaji Abdullahi Magaji Hardawa, explains more.
Nigeria and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have a very long-standing relationship. And the fact that Nigeria is about the fifth largest country in terms of size of contingents for the annual pilgrimage, that's Hajj, is so important to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the fact that we send people there will also want to ensure that our relationship is further strengthening for the mutual benefit of the pilgrims and their hosts.
At the second summit, representatives of the two countries presented MOUs dealing with various aspects of their relationship. These include education, culture, youth, sports, defense and security. Others are drugs and human trafficking, economic, trade and investment, labor, as well as Hajj.
Now, with regards to our participation as a Hajj Commission, they specifically invited us to join the session. They have the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah in Saudi Arabia had sent a draft MOU for us, focusing on specific areas of collaboration for the betterment of our services to the pilgrims. And we in turn develop our own submission, and we have passed it to Federal Minister of Justice for vetting.
The commissioner said as soon as the draft is vetted, the commission and the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah will sign an MOU.
Unfortunately, because of the short notice we received, we were unable to get the vetted copy from Minister of Justice. But all the same, we discussed and negotiated all those areas. But the negotiation is now open to continuation. We have given them our draft submissions. They are going to study them. Then later on, inshallah, we'll find time to harmonize the two versions of the MOUs. Then we agreed on a particular one that will be of enormous help to Hajj Commission and to our pilgrims.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, and the Saudi Authority identified nearly a dozen areas for mutual cooperation. One such area is the Mecca Route Initiative.
And Nigeria being a very important country to them, they proposed Nigeria also to be part of the takeoff of the scheme. We had gone far in discussing that issue before the advent of COVID-19. Then everything was stalled, and now we would want to reactivate it. This initiative will give us the opportunity to make things easy for our intended pilgrims. The Saudis will come down here to Nigeria, do some immigration screening formalities for the pilgrims here in Nigeria, so much so that the pilgrims, once they land in Saudi Arabia, either in Medina or in Jeddah, they'll just board buses and go to their hotels without wasting time.
Another aspect is support for the Hajj Institute of Nigeria, which is expected to come on stream before the end of the year.
And very soon, inshallah, before the year runs out, this institute is going to take off. It is going to take off in a temporary site with limited facilities. But we are envisaging that with time, it will be gradually improved and the programs expanded. That will require some collaboration with the Saudi authorities in that respect.
Similarly, programs associated with digitization were also captured in the proposed MOU.
ICT is the way to go. And fortunately for us here, we have a vibrant unit here in the Commission. We have a digital center already established with the support of NIDA. And we have also evolved a number of projects in that respect that will make things easy for example, tour operators who apply with them and who process visa for a number of people going for either Umrah or Hajj. All these are now going to be much more easier, and the development has been aptly captured in our submission, and we are discussing further. I wouldn't want to go into details now because we are awaiting the approval of Ministry of Justice, and we will also want to listen to their reaction before things are concretized.
The NACON acting chairman said all this and more are part of the short and long-term plans to make Hajj less cumbersome for pilgrims and as well enhance services, reiterating that the experience of 2022 Hajj has been a big lesson for all Hajj stakeholders, particularly NACON. The second Nigeria-Saudi Joint Commission Summit has come and gone. It is the hope of all stakeholders that the session will produce the desired outcome, which will benefit the two countries.
Lessons learned from this year are meant to serve as an experience to make it better next year. We already started the strategy and the plan for next year's Hajj. We know that Allah's willing, it will be much more better than the experience that has just ended.
MashaAllah, The program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Let's hear the discussions.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك.
Performing Umrah or Lesser Hajj is an act of worship recommended for Muslims. What then is the Umrah? What rights are associated with it?
Umrah is a very interesting act.
On making the Hajj, Imam Sharafuddin Aliagan answers these and other questions.
The concept of Umrah in Islam is a spiritual activity that is attached with physical act of ibadah, physical act of righteousness. It is regarded as a lesser Hajj or a lesser pilgrimage, or in other words, a short version of pilgrimage. It is not as full of activities as the proper Hajj.
The Hajj is performed on specific months and days. Is it the same with the Umrah?
Umrah has no specific time. Umrah can be observed all through the year. And Umrah can be performed even twice a day, as short as it is. The average time for Umrah is 2 hours, depending on the crowdness of the Kaaba and the places where Muslims are expected to perform the lesser Hajj.
What are the key pillars of Umrah?
That is number one, the Haram. Number two, a Tawaf. Tawaf is part of the pillars of Umrah. And the third one is As-Sa'yu bayna Safa wal Marwa. These are the major pillars of Umrah, in which if one of it is missing, that Umrah remains null and void.
In what way is the Umrah different from Hajj?
Umrah is a supererogatory act of ibadah and emphatic sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, but not one of the pillars of Islam. This differentiates it from Hajj. Number two, Hajj has a stipulated time for it to be performed, like I said earlier. Umrah has no stipulated time. So, number three, Hajj has other activities, has more activities than that of Umrah. In Hajj, you have to be on Arafah. It is a compulsory one. Al-Hajj Arafah, like the prophets did say. But when it comes to Umrah, you don't have to get to Arafah.
We shall continue with the discussions in our subsequent editions.
Alhamdulillah. Now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, why is the Hajj landmark called Hijr Ismail? The correct answer is, it is the place where Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam built shelter for Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and his mother. The winner is Hafsat Bello from Kaduna State. She provided the answer ahead of others. Hafsat Bello will be contacted on how Nakon will reach her with the prize she won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of Nakon's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, name the place where Jabal Rahman is located. Again, name the place where Jabal Rahman is located. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
Nazifi Ibrahim from Bauchi State sent in the first message. It reads, I am grateful to Nakon for the quiz prize. I received mine. May Allah be with all at Hajj House. Brother Muhammad from Jos Plateau State sent in the second message. It contains this advice to Nakon. Assalamu alaikum. I am advising Nakon to strengthen its relationship with all stakeholders to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money at all times.
Viewers seeking clarification or have questions to ask on any matter relating to Hajj or Umrah management and operations can do so through this program. Relevant officers will be contacted to respond appropriately. We also welcome your messages, comments, observations, and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Thanks for watching.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Glad to have you join me again on another episode of Service to Humanity, a program designed to update you on the activities of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development and her agencies as it carries out its mandate. I am Habiba Zoksok, your anchor. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development organized an awareness campaign as part of its efforts to address the menace of drug and substance abuse as well as illicit trafficking of drugs. That event will be our focus on tonight's episode of the program, Service to Humanity. The visit of the monitoring and evaluation team of the ministry to some institutions housing beneficiaries of the N-Power cluster of the National Social Investment Programs will also feature on the program. This and more coming your way shortly. Stay tuned.
I tell you, anytime we're not producing, the fish farmers suffer. The people we engage suffer. The people we feed, that we give our fish heads to, they feel it. I'll only beg the government to continue with this and make it run more.
We used to have children crying, parents will be chasing them to come to school, and they'll be at the gate, they'll be crying, they will hold on to their parents, they will not want to come into the gate.
When they are not giving the food, the attendance was very low. Now the children are always fit and healthy because of the food we eat.
You make them attend class every day.
I eat rice, meat, and carrots.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the federal government for the feeding program.
We shall begin with the Management Diary, where we bring you news from the Humanitarian Ministry and her agencies. In our lineup, Minister bags leading woman in Humanitarian Service Award, just as federal government unveils initiative for partnership to improve the lives of persons living with disability. Let's have those stories.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, has been honored with the award of Africa's leading woman in humanitarian service and social development, following the nomination by an NGO, Third Sector Resource, based in the United Kingdom. The award and decoration were given by Foreign Investment Network and African Business Investment Forum in recognition of her outstanding services to the cause of internally displaced and vulnerable persons and her immense contributions to the growth of humanity. Presenting the award to the minister, Foreign Investment Network Chairman Mrs. Olayinka Fayomi praised her for her sacrifices and humanitarian work in Nigeria. The prize, according to Mrs. Fayomi, is to honor those who have made significant contributions to national interests. The investiture took place on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly proceedings in New York 2 weeks ago. Farouk thanked the organizers for honoring her after receiving the prize, which she says will motivate her to do more. The federal government, through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, has launched the Nigeria Partnership for Disability Inclusive Development. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajiya Sadiya Farouk, who was represented by Dr. Nasir Sanugwarzo, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, acknowledged and thanked the World Bank, Site Savers, Save the Children, Leprosy Mission, Commonwealth Office at the British High Commission in Nigeria, among other organizations, for their support. She said that the assistance given by partners in getting the Discrimination Against PWD's Prohibition Act passed, as well as the establishment of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, was truly appreciated. In his remarks, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. James Lalu, said the formation of the Nigeria Partnership for Disability Inclusive Development is a beautiful initiative. According to him, the relationship will enable the Commission and stakeholders to collaborate on the creation and execution of programs and projects. It will also give partners a common forum to discuss ideas, strategies, and goals for enhancing the lives of persons with disabilities.
Welcome back. The menace of drugs and substance abuse has continued to be a challenge to Nigeria and the world at large. This has led to so many issues such as violence, crime, financial problems, homelessness, destitution, amongst other things. In the light of this unhealthy development, the Humanitarian Ministry organized an awareness campaign against drug and substance abuse as well as illicit trafficking, where it educated youth on its negative effects and implications. Let's see how the event went.
The National Drug Use Survey of 2018 revealed that there are around 14.3 million drug users in Nigeria, of which close to 3 million suffered from a drug use disorder. The country has a 14.4% drug use prevalence, which is significantly higher than the global average. The incidence of drug abuse is higher amongst young Nigerians, thus creating a humanitarian crisis when the leaders of tomorrow have their minds ravaged by different substances, a situation which destabilizes communities, families, relationships between parents and child, and thus threaten the future of an entire society. Some of the most abused drugs and substances in Nigeria includes marijuana, cannabis weed, 50%, cigarettes, 17%, methamphetamine, 17%, alcohol, 12%, heroin, 2%, cocaine, 1%, opioids, 1%. As part of its efforts towards fighting the menace of drug abuse among young people, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development organized an awareness campaign against drugs and substance abuse and illicit trafficking.
Some of these guys, you see them with Coke, half bottle Coke. Sweetheart, it's not Coke again.
The event with the theme, Addressing Drug Challenges in Health and Humanitarian Crisis, took place on the 28th September 2022 at the Merit House, Maitama, Abuja. Present at the event were the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, represented by Acting Director, Social Development Department of the Ministry, Charles Chokro, Permanent Secretary of the Humanitarian Ministry, Dr. Nasser Sani Gorzo, represented by Deputy Director, Social Development Department, Solomon Audu, representatives of Ministry of Women Affairs, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA, National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons NAPTIP, among others. There were also members of the National Youth Service Corps as well as students of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama.
The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development.
In her keynote address, the Humanitarian Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, called for concerted efforts towards addressing the menace of drug and substance abuse, which is prevalent among youth in the country.
In our journey to nation building and national development, we need to put in more efforts towards addressing the menace of drug and substance abuse among youth in the country. The menace should not be left to government, individuals, and rehabs alone, but should be a collective responsibility with everyone playing their role.
Speaking earlier, Permanent Secretary of the Humanitarian Ministry, Dr. Sani Gorzo, stated that drug abuse is often accompanied by a devastating social impact upon community life. He then reiterates the Humanitarian Ministry's commitment to working with